They laughed when you said you'll do it alone. They doubted when you said you'll rise without help. But that's exactly what separates the chosen from the crowd. The fire to train alone, to grind when no one's watching, to bleed in silence and roar when it's time. Every rep you do alone, every drop of sweat that hits the floor when the world sleeps, that's your proof. That's your power. Training alone isn't loneliness. It's transformation. It's when you stop needing applause and start chasing purpose. When you walk into the gym with no hype, no music, no partner, just you and your hunger, that's when the real beast wakes up. Because those who train alone, they build a mindset unbreakable, a will unstoppable, and a heart that never gives up. The ones who train with the crowd, they learn strength. But the ones who train in silence, they learn discipline. The world doesn't see the pain behind your progress. The early mornings, the skipped parties, the endless grind, but you do. You see it every time you look in the mirror and realize you're not who you were yesterday. You've evolved. Every time you lift that weight, it's not just muscle you're building, it's character. It's war inside your head, and you win that war every single day when you decide to show up. The world gives you excuses, distractions, and doubts, but you give it sweat, pain, and commitment. You see, training alone isn't for the weak. It's for the ones who are hungry enough to build themselves from scratch, who don't need validation, who aren't waiting for motivation. You become your own trainer, your own enemy, your own savior. You start enjoying the pain because you know it's the only thing that makes you stronger. People say it's hard to train alone, but that's the point. It's supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The pain is the gatekeeper of greatness, and only those who endure it earn the key. When you train alone, the silence becomes your soundtrack, the sweat becomes your language, and the grind becomes your identity. Every rep becomes a promise to yourself. I will not quit. You don't need someone to spot you. You spot yourself. You don't need someone to push you. Your dreams push you harder than anyone ever could. You become addicted to progress that's slow, painful, invisible growth that no one sees until it explodes one day and shocks the world. The ones who mocked you will clap. The ones who doubted you will ask how. But deep inside, you'll know you didn't need them. Because when you train alone, you build not just strength, but peace. A deep, quiet kind of power that no one can take away. You start understanding that the gym isn't just a place, it's a battlefield. Every set, every rep, every ounce of pain. It's a war between the old you and the new you. And every time you pick up that dumbbell, you're saying, I'm not done yet. You train when you're tired, when you're sore, when your body says stop because your mind says go. You train when others are resting, when others are quitting, when others are scrolling, because you know that greatness is forged in the hours no one counts. You stop waiting for motivation and start building momentum. You stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. You stop needing validation and start trusting the process. The mirror becomes your only competition. The pain becomes your best friend, and discipline becomes your religion. Because when you train alone, it's not about showing off anymore, it's about showing up. It's about proving to yourself that you have what it takes. You're not chasing perfection, you're chasing potential. You understand that real strength isn't built in a crowd, it's built in isolation. It's built when you drag yourself to the gym on days you don't feel like it. It's built when you finish that last rep when your arms are shaking. It's built when you choose consistency over excuses. You realize that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to carry you. You're all you've got, and that's enough. Because inside you lives a beast that doesn't need motivation, doesn't need praise, doesn't need company. It just needs one thing: the grind. Every time you push through pain, you silence the voice of weakness. Every time you stay consistent, you kill the old version of yourself. And that's the goal: to evolve. To become so strong mentally and physically that no obstacle, no failure, no doubt can stop you. People don't understand what it takes. They see the muscles, the success, the result, but not the journey. They don't see the nights you trained with tears in your eyes. They don't see the times you doubted yourself but still kept going. They don't see the sacrifices, the discipline, the obsession. But you do. You remember every second of it, because it's not just training, it's therapy. It's the moment you release all your anger, your fear, your frustration, and channel it into something powerful. You turn pain into progress, suffering into strength, and loneliness into legacy. That's what training alone does. It molds you into something unstoppable. It's not about how much you lift, it's about how much you can endure. Because the real weight isn't the barbell, it's the doubt, the fear, the struggle. And every time you lift, you prove to yourself that you can handle it. You start understanding that being alone is a blessing, not a curse. It's your time to grow without noise, without distraction, without pressure. It's your time to master yourself. You don't need energy from others, you create your own. You don't need people to remind you why you started, your pain already did. You don't need support because the fire inside you burns louder than any applause. That's what separates the warriors from the weak. The weak wait for someone to push them. The warriors push themselves. The weak wait for the perfect time. The warriors make time. The weak quit when it hurts. The warriors smile when it hurts because they know pain is progress. So if you're training alone, don't ever think you're behind. You're ahead. You're building something that no one can touch, self-mastery. You're learning how to depend on the only person who will never leave you, yourself. You're not just lifting weights, you're lifting your standards. You're not just breaking sweat, you're breaking limits. And someday, when people see your results, they'll call it talent, they'll call it genetics, they'll call it luck, but they'll never understand the lonely nights, the early mornings, the self-doubt, and the discipline that built it. Because they weren't there when you trained alone. They didn't see the grind when no one believed. But that's okay, because you didn't do it for them. You did it for you. You did it to become something greater. You did it to prove that you don't need permission to grow, that you don't need company to succeed, that you don't need motivation to move forward. You just need purpose. You just need fire. You just need the will to train alone. Because at the end of the day, no one can walk your path for you. No one can lift your weights, fight your battles, or live your dreams. It's all on you, and that's the beauty of it. Because once you realize that, once you take full responsibility for your journey, you become limitless. You stop waiting and start working. You stop dreaming and start doing. And that's when the world starts to notice. That's when they start to ask, how did he do it? And you'll just smile because they'll never understand the power of training alone. You became your own competition, your own drive, your own destiny. So keep training alone. Keep pushing when no one's watching. Keep grinding when no one believes. Because someday, when you stand on top strong, unshakable, unstoppable, the world will know your name. But you'll know the truth. You didn't need them to get there. You needed discipline. You needed pain. You needed silence. You needed to train alone. And even after you reach the top, don't stop. Because the journey of a lone warrior never ends. You realize the real competition was never with others. It was always with your yesterday self. You remember those dark mornings when you woke up tired but still laced your shoes. You remember the nights when your body screamed for rest, but your soul whispered, one more rep. You remember the silence, the emptiness, the times you felt like giving up but you didn't. That's the moment you understand. Training alone made you dangerous. Because you didn't just build a body, you built resilience. You didn't just lift weights, you lifted your spirit. You became your own weapon, forged by pain, sharpened by discipline, powered by purpose. Now when you walk into the gym, you don't need noise, you don't need hype. Your presence alone is enough to shake the ground. You've turned your solitude into strength, your struggle into strategy, your pain into power. You've become the type of person who doesn't chase energy, you create it. You don't seek attention, you command it through action. The world calls it obsession, but you call it passion. Because they'll never understand what it means to chase greatness alone. They'll never understand the satisfaction of winning a battle no one saw, or the pride of conquering your own weakness. Key truth is, when you train alone, you discover who you really are. You meet the voice inside that doubts you and you crush it. You face your limits and you break them. You face your fears and you silence them. You realize you don't need the world to believe in you, because you've already seen the beast inside you. You've seen what happens when focus meets consistency, when pain meets purpose. You've seen the evolution of your own self, the rebirth of a mindset that refuses to settle. You start to see the beauty in struggle, the peace in effort, the growth in isolation.